I'm here. Hello everyone. I'm in France. It's beautiful here. This is not a green screen. And I would like to share with you some personal experiences. A lot of changes these days, these few weeks. And I would like to just go through a few of them. For two reasons. By me explaining them, get more clarity for myself, and I know there's other people out there experiencing similar things in their own unique ways, and maybe just sharing my experience will help in some way. So one of the things that I'm experiencing lately is that there's two beings living inside this body, this vessel, this beautiful biological mechanism, and this results in clarity as well as confusion, because I never experienced it in this way before, and I'll elaborate how this awareness or experience came into being. So a few weeks ago, I figured I would buy some hash and some tobacco replacement. I hadn't done that in a very long time, years, well, about over a year, and mainly because I wanted to face some fears. And I was just curious what would happen, really. And I know there's a lot of different opinions about the use of these substances. I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm just going to share my experience. One thing that's very clear to me now is that there's two ways to use this plant, this marijuana or hash. There's a way to abuse the plant and to use the plant for your benefit. As, of course, with many things in this world, you can use it for good and you can use it for other intentions, bad. Anyways, so what happened, just a tiny little bit will change so many things in my system. One of the things that it does is it makes me super sensitive. Yeah, that's why it's very important to me to be in a comfortable environment. And so I was at home. This was actually the very first time that I was by myself doing that. And what happened is, well, first of all, I set out the intention. I never did that before. I just put out the intention to the plant, and I said, you know what, I want to release my fizz, and because there was some fizz involved in the use of this several years ago, getting fearful, paranoid, and just not using that plant for the right reasons, I guess. And what happened now was very peculiar. I became more sensitive, and so much, first of all, so much pain came up, so much trauma, and I decided to just lay on the carpet and to just let it all in, to just keep observing the body. That's what I was doing. I was observing every sensation I was having, and that was not the hardest part, because everything I was feeling was so intense, and this intensity caused, well, this intense presence to witness all these feelings and emotions bubbling up. So that's what I did. The difference between now and how I used to smoke weed or hash is that in the past, I would resist, I did not want to feel some of these feelings. Maybe I would become aware of the bloodstream in my little toe, and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to constantly feel the blood rushing in my little toe. So there was a lot of resistance actually causing this paranoia. And so the difference to me is, complete surrender, and that's why I was laying on the carpet, just letting it all out. And I could just feel one layer of pain after the other just coming out and staying with the sensations in the body. And what happened afterwards is that a lot of, different state of awareness came into being, which I recognized. It kind of reminded me of, doing a meditation course, and then after several days where you're experiencing all these deep feelings and going through them, and you're going up and down, and that's really what happened in a very short period of time. So in this state of awareness, what was so clear to me was the difference between me, and by me I mean my higher self, soul, spirit, however you want to call it, which I can feel is the essence of me, and then there's the body, which in a way is also part of me, but really how I perceive it is me as spirit being in the body. And the body is a being as well, and in this moment I could really feel and experience these two beings in the same vessel. And the interesting thing is that for so long have I identified with the body, say maybe 24 years at least, with maybe slight glimpses of a higher part of myself, just really being compassionate and loving towards all beings, and not fearful. I was just witnessing whatever's happening, and that's what I was experiencing. I was fully witnessing everything that the body was experiencing. And the body was really doing its own thing. And what I realized is that the body is like a biological supercomputer. And the way I understand it is by using the word script. Very clearly, I was thinking about the word script, because what I would witness, this is the witnessing part of myself, the higher part, was witnessing the body at work. So I would have a thought to go for a pee, and then it was like the body did everything by itself, and it didn't need me at all for none of the things that you do. Walking, getting up, I was laying on the carpet, walking, going to the toilet. This was all automatic. And I was just witnessing it. It was like watching a movie, but then in 3D and very real with all these senses, of course. And I realized that the body runs on all these scripts. These are all these conditioned patterns. And we all know that we have these conditioned patterns. We react in certain ways to certain changes in our environment. Certain things happen and we respond in a certain way. That's why things keep happening over and over again to us, because of these scripts. And walking to the toilet was one of these scripts that my body, I had conditioned my body to do, or my body was conditioned. And so I found out that this biological body responds to the input of thought. And I can be absent of my body, I can be, unconscious by that. I can just live life and, just do whatever everyone is telling me to do, and be successful, and whatever it is, living an unconscious life. And this is what the body will do. It just follows all these scripts, and it is until I arrive as a witness, as the observer of whatever's happening, all these patterns of the body, that I can actually make a change. So now I have the power to input thoughts, and the body will actually work with those thoughts. These thoughts will activate a script that will start running. So thinking I have to go to the toilet, boom, the script for going to the toilet in that particular situation, laying on the carpet, to opening the door and sitting on the toilet to take a pee or crap or whatever, that's the script. So then I went back to the carpet and I thought, oh, that was interesting. What if I input a thought and there's no script yet? So then I input the thought, what if I make a head roll right here on the carpet in between the table and this little closet that's in my room? And then I could feel the changes in my body. You know, sensations started to arise. Actually, fear came up because there was no... I mean, I've learned as a kid how to do a head roll, but the script started running. Sorry, I laughed because I just looked at the screen for one moment, how long am I filming, and it was 11:11. Anyways, we'll talk about that one other time. Synchronicities. So, the head roll. And this fear comes up, and all these different thoughts start spinning through my mind that I didn't input. Like, what if I bump into the table? What if I bump into this closet? What if I break the television? What if I do this? What if I do that? And so there was resistance. This was so interesting. The body resisted doing that. So, I input the thought, we're gonna do it anyways. And that's what we did. The body and I made a head roll. Or the body did it, really. I just had to witness the head roll, really. And it was fine. Completely straight. You know, hurt my shoulder a little bit. But it was alright. It was an interesting experiment. And so this experience was a few weeks ago. I'm realizing this so often now, that it's so easy to become absent, to become unconscious, and to start... The body takes over. The body just starts following these scripts. And what's so clear to me is I don't want the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I really, really don't like that idea. So that's why I really enjoy change. However, you know, sometimes it can be very painful. And you know, this awareness brings in some great opportunities, because many times I will become aware now that I'm being absent. I'm not present in the body. I'm not witnessing, and I'll get myself into trouble that way. Like I get frustrated and annoyed, sad. I feel like a victim, and it's like I know that I'm never a victim, and so the awareness kicks in. Like, hey, this is a script running. And one of the ways for me to bring in that awareness, this being who's a different part of me, who's also there, who also has an influence on this life. One of those ways is meditation, because you know, meditation is absorbing yourself into the present moment, so it's really observing, and so that kind of triggers this higher state of awareness in. And then that's why I start the day with meditation, so I can live throughout the day with this increased awareness, this increased vibration of knowing. And this way life will unfold more smoothly. Challenges will be there, but synchronicities as well, like the 11:11. So it increases awareness. But as I said in the beginning, there's also some confusion sometimes. So, you know, feeling that there's two beings inside who kind of merged as one, who people perceive me as Roeland, one persona, one person, and me experiencing this, that there's more to this Roeland than meets the eye, brings out some confusion about like who I am, and even just past memories of my childhood. And it's weird how everything is so different now, and in 1 year time it's like I'm in a bit of an identity crisis, and I kind of enjoy that because I know it's part of the process in a way. It's like choosing for an identity crisis, and what I mean by that is that I like for example, I like completely different things than I used to like before. I love reading now. I love dancing. I love meditation. I love talking, as you can probably hear. Laughing is great. Well, a few of those things I always used to like. But there's many things that I used to love before, and I just can't do it anymore. Like watching series, watching useless television, watching the news, listening to radio, listening to pop songs, going out to a club and listen to average music. Going to the supermarket can be pretty intense sometimes. And it's really figuring out what is different now, which is great. And a lot is happening in short periods of time. To me, it sometimes feels like there's so many significant experiences happening in such a short span of time that it feels that time is quickening. And I hear people talk about this in podcasts and documentaries, books, and whatnot, which makes me understand that, it's actually okay to experience that. And maybe I'm not the only one experiencing that. And, because of this, a lot of change happens in short periods of time, and what I'm experiencing is that a lot of people in my close surroundings, I'm dealing with my own change, and they're dealing with a person changing in their environment that they've, maybe known for my entire life, like family members and friends from childhood and things like this. And sometimes this can be hard because people love you, and they want the best for you. And a lot of the times they will try to communicate this to you, but really, sometimes people don't really want what's best for you. They want what they think is best for you. And that's the trap. It's like sometimes I get into this fear mode where people start giving me all this advice or judgments, like, this new diet of yours, I'm eating vegan now since 7-8 months, and the diet changes my body a lot, and personally I feel great, but people, and I know it's trial and error. I'm not saying this is good for everyone, and maybe maybe tomorrow I'll eat different things than today as well. But people worry, and that's what I want to say. It's like to people out there as well, like, it's okay. People will start to judge you. And there's this song that I love, and it has the lyrics that go, "Don't care what people say, just follow your own way." And that reminded me, like, oh yes. So this is my body. and I feel great. I feel great! Woo! And then people come and say, oh, you look sick, man. You're way too skinny. And you're gonna die. But really, what if a person saying that? What if a person saying that is actually too fat? It's like, what do I do with that information? Of course I want to take it in. But then it brings out this fear as well, like, did I make the wrong choices? Maybe this thing is not right for me. So, this is the body reacting with the scripts once again. Of course I take the information in. To everyone who gave me these comments on however they perceive my body, thank you. I'm definitely learning from them. And I also want to say that to people that, you know, just think for yourself and connect with like-minded people. If you're not getting elevated by your surrounding, change your surroundings. You know, tune into positive vibrations. Listen to elevating podcasts. Personally, I listen to Positive Head, Synchronicity podcasts. Reading lovely books that make you feel acknowledged as a being. Because there's enough fear out there, and we're not here to deny that, but we don't need that in our consciousness every day either. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Feel your deepest emotions, let them be there. You're okay, you're totally fine. If everyone else tells you you're not fine, I'll tell you you're totally fine. You are awesome. You are doing it. Live your life. Don't be nervous. You've got purpose. You can do this. Change is a confusing process. Let's enjoy it. Let's just enjoy the process. Goodbye, everyone. Woo! Oh, crap.